Well, back to the image, that looking in the mirror of like what you don't like, that's where the molecule is. So like I said, I was totally disconnected from my body. So I used tools to access the emotions. What did she say? I have used training to not feel and really hurt and injured my body through training. So many body goes into ultra protection mode every time so
Lauren has a lot of conversations about that.
You'll get like an idea. Yeah. Okay. So I just used the tools. So I was like, okay, if I believe, well, I mean, it's quantum physics. If this is true about quantum physics, that our body is emanating a vibration and there's all of these subatomic parts out in the ethers, then what is being mirrored back to me is a reflection of my energy so that I can experience myself. Because if the whole experience of this 3D plane is to experience yourself, then what is being reflected back to me? So I would look at it and like change things like in real life. Like I pulled all my work stuff out of here. Like I made it really pretty and noticed like what my vibe was. And I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of a romantic person. Like I have a lot of candles and crystals and roses and stuff. So then that like kind of changed like how I did myself. Right. Yeah. So when I would look at myself in the mirror, I'd be like, okay, well, I don't like my stomach. I don't like my thighs. Then what are those meanings of that? What is the representation of it? Because there's actually nothing wrong with them. And if I was in a different culture, I probably wouldn't feel this way. So what is the meaning that I've given to these body parts? Because meaning is only created by what your brain perceives the emotion as. So then I would go back to molecules of emotion, go back to vibration, go look at a chart to see what the emotion was. Think about every time I experienced that emotion. What are those memories? And you have to forgive people and places and experiences and be like, oh shit, like this is all about learning how to work with energy.
Oh, this is why I'm so excited to work with you. Oh my God. Okay. I love something else you said that I wrote down, which was the only reason I can have this vibration, this experience, is because it's already in me. This is resonance. This is vibrational resonance, resonant frequency. So dive into that. The only reason, and that's like massive responsibility taking right there. The only reason I can have this experience is because it already exists inside of me.
Yeah. So it went really high. Like I went into miasma. So I'll just say it because this like takes the pressure off of us that we think there's something that like we did wrong. So our bodies are like books and they are like, they have the codes in them. Like our DNA is an expression of code and it expresses itself in ease. If we have regenerative molecules of emotion, love, joy, appreciation, kindness, care, it expresses itself in dis-ease and fast aging. The other one is longevity and vibrancy. Then the opposite low emotions are indifference, shame, guilt, disappointment, and sadness. So you look at those and they have a spectrum. It's like a ruler. So like the 1 inch mark is each of those emotions, but in between each one is a variance of that. And I always say like there's different sad. There's sad when you see a kitten that got hit by a car, and there's sad when your mom dies. Like there's different levels of sad. So it's like those 5 emotions you can really like start to look at so that you can start to do this so that you're like, oh, it's all an experience. So when we are an egg, right? Because this is going to take the pressure off. When we're an egg inside of our mom's ovary, when she's inside of our grandma, we have the molecules of emotion imprinted into our egg, which means they're also in us now. Yes, that is the physical earth science plane of the physical body. Then we have what's called miasma. And if you look up miasma, most of the stuff is going to make fun of it. And what I always say, what anything on the internet is making fun of in a spiritual context, you can bet it's actually true. Because they don't want you to believe that you have the power. People lose money when people don't have, when people lose money when people are empowered. So, so miasma, you can kind of think of it as the masculine side of it, where we have energy that follows our people and it grows and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it also carries us through. So we have like an energetic lineage that's around us all the time, impacting our vibration. And then we have the chemical lineage, because too, Dr. Bruce Lipton got ousted from the medical community when he said it goes both ways through the RNA. Your DNA expresses out through the RNA, but information also goes in to tell the DNA how to express itself through the RNA. So RNA is a two-way switch, which is why the thing is so controversial.
Yes.
So, basically, so what I'm saying is that we have stuff in us, like Dr. John Sarno says, 0 to 3 is inner child primitive. 0 means you're not on this side of the earth yet. You're still inside utero, or you might even be an egg. So that stuff is in us as part of who we be. And another aspect of it, because like human design is so popular and astrology is so popular, there's this thing called the nanostream that goes through all of the planets, and they're subatomic parts that have mass. So it doesn't even make sense. So these things also imprint into our body, picked up stuff in the stream that's all out there. So we have our earth genetics from our mom's lineage through the chemical. We have our non-physical lineage through the masculine energy of miasma on the energetic side. Then we have the nanostream. So that all programs what this book is. So you're flipping through all the pages of the book of your body. Whatever experiences you have in your life that cause disempowerment and suffering and pain, or whatever world structures and the culture that you're around tell you anything about you that doesn't fit, your mindset of protection with how you could tilt towards negativity, it gets locked in as a mindset so you can stay alive. So then whenever you are doing stuff with the food and you're like, I'm so frustrated, I have to measure this. I'm so frustrated, I have to get 100 grams of protein. This is so stupid. I feel like somebody's telling me what to do. I feel like someone's telling me I'm not good enough. I feel like you might not consciously know the thought in the experience that your body's trying to prevent you from going through again, but the emotion is the thing that's revving up, and you'll just make whatever excuse makes the most sense to not follow through with the habit. But if you can actually feel the emotion that's coming up and notice, am I pissed? Am I sad? Do I feel like shit? Do I feel ugly? Do I feel fat? Like whatever it is, if you can actually be like, what other times have I felt like this? You start to unravel and peel back the layers. And I just kept doing that until I didn't feel the emotion anymore.
And that's the work right there. That's deep work. And, you know, when I